back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about someone near and dear to my heart, Vermin Supreme. Today it's going to be me, and I'm going to have a special guest with me, Wrigley. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, let's get into the video. Yeah. In the landscape of American politics, we've seen career politicians, billionaires, and even military heroes. But only one has ever promised to give every single American a free pony. Only one has ever vowed to use a massive toothbrush to cure the nation's gingivitis.
Welcome to a deep dive into the life, the mind, and the absolute absurdity of Vermin Love Supreme. We're going to trace the history of the boot wearing, glitter bombing performance artist who has trolled the American electoral system for over 3 decades. Is this a joke? Yes. Is he a master of political satire pointing out the flaws in our two-party system? Well, absolutely.
Yes, sir. Understand Vermin long before he was His Excellency. Vermin Love Supreme was just a normal kid growing up in Rockport, Massachusetts. And yes, you heard right, his middle name is Love. He graduated from high school in 1979 and eventually found himself drifting into the music and countercultural scene in Baltimore. But it wasn't until 1986 that Vermin found his calling in activism. He joined the Great Peace March for global nuclear disarmament, walking across the country to protest nuclear weapons. It was during this march that the seed of political performance art was planted.
Who is Vermin Supreme? Well, legally, that's his name. He legally changed it decades ago. He is a self identified friendly fascist and a political prankster. His entire public life is a meticulous piece of theater designed to expose the real theater of politics itself. But behind the giant toothbrush and the Wellington rain boot on his head, there is a shockingly consistent worldview.
Let's talk about the Vermin Supreme platform. If you take away the glitter and the boat hat, what are the actual policy pillars that he campaigns on? Well, they're actually quite specific. The first pillar, the first pillar is that of the pony economy. Vermin famously promises a free pony to every single American. But wait, how is this paid for? Well, in Vermin's utopia, paper currency is abolished, and the nation transitions into a pony based economy. It is a satirical jab at government currency, but it is also a deeply philosophical stance on society value. Free ponies for all, he argues, will cure the economy of the country.
Pillar 2, mandatory toothbrushing. Vermin believes that the decay of American society is directly correlated with the decay of American gums. He has consistently campaigned on his platform for federal legislation mandating that citizens brush their teeth daily. He believes that personal hygiene is the responsibility of a caring, authoritarian government, and he uses the extreme mandate to highlight the government's own overreach into our own personal lives.
Pillar 3, zombie preparedness. This is arguably his most profound satirical point. Vermin argues that the federal government completely fails to prepare for emergencies, so much so that they are utterly unprepared for a full scale zombie apocalypse. By demanding zombie preparedness, he forces audiences to question the competency of government disaster response in the real world.
Hey guys, it's me with the chicken, and I'm going to be talking about Pillar 4, time travel research. Vermin has promised to fund top secret government time travel research. His most famous, absurdly funny, and political application of this is time travel. And I quote, going back in time to kill baby Hitler with my bare hands. Behind the jokes, there are serious libertarian roots. He is deeply critical to foreign wars, the war on drugs, mass incarceration, and overreaching federal power. He uses the comedy to get people who might normally tune out politics to pay attention.
Vermin Supreme first ran for public office in 1987, running for mayor of Baltimore. It was just a small local project to give himself something to do, but it sparked a decade long addiction to the political ballot. He officially ran in the DC primary in 2004 and then turned his sights to a state that would become his absolute holy land, New Hampshire. The New Hampshire primary is famously quirky, known for its intimate retail politics and wide open ballot access for candidates. And it is here that Vermin Supreme became a legend.
In 2008, Vermin officially hit the national radar during the lesser known candidates debate. He repeated his famous pledge to provide a free pony for every American, but the true internet breaking moment happened in 2011 in the New Hampshire Institute of Politics Forum. Vermin was sharing a stage with right wing Randall Terry. While Terry was speaking, Vermin approached him from behind and glitter bombed his suit. When asked about it, Vermin claimed that Jesus told him to make Randall Terry gay, which with magic sprinkle dust. It went viral instantly, cementing his status as the first political troll of the internet age.
By 2012, he was officially running as a Democrat. He wasn't on the stage as a joke, he was on the ballot, forcing the media and public to cover him. In the 2016 primary, he achieved what no one thought a boot wearing performance artist could. He secured fourth place in the New Hampshire Democratic primary, pulling in over 200 votes and beating out legitimate former governors.
Years, Vermin ran in the Democratic primaries, but in 2020 he made a major shift. He announced he was running for the Libertarian Party's presidential nomination. This move confused many, but to the deep dive political observers, it made perfect sense.
Vermin's true policy positions have always leaned heavily towards personal freedom, the abolishment of government overreach, and giving mutual aid. He finished in third place at the Libertarian Party's national meeting in 2020. But this wasn't just performance art anymore. It was an active attempt to shift the libertarian platform and bring his specific brand of anti authoritarian satire to a base that actually despised big government.
During the 2024 election cycle, Vermin Supreme continued his run, but this time the serious Supreme emerged. While he still wore the boot and promised ponies, he started conducting serious interviews and advocating for real libertarian goals. He campaigned against the lesser of two evils dynamic of modern American elections. He argued that voters shouldn't just vote for the better of two heavily flawed candidates, but that they should have a duty to vote for candidates whose principles actually align with their own.
He continued touring, visiting local music venues, and engaging directly with the youth across states like Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. But as we look at Vermin Supreme's life and campaigns, a larger question emerges. What was the point of it all?
Political landscape where billions of dollars are spent on candidates who make empty promises, Vermin Supreme takes that concept to its logical, absurd extreme. He promises things that are physically impossible, like free interdimensional ponies, to remind us that all campaign promises are, in a sense, forms of fiction. He shows us that when a candidate promises to fix the economy or end poverty, we are often just buying into a different kind of fantasy.
By running as a friendly fascist, he uses irony to point out the dangers of authoritarianism. He highlights how easily people will give up their freedom to a government that promises them safety, free goods, and security.
German Love Supreme has shown that an individual with a bullhorn, a boot on his head, and a whole lot of glitter can force the mainstream media to talk about the issues that actually matter to him.
Whether you view him as a brilliant political philosopher wrapped in a clown's costume, or just an eccentric guy who loves ponies, one thing is certain there is no one else in American history quite like Vermin Supreme. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the extraordinarily glitter filled world of Vermin Supreme. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all enjoyed more content with my friend here. Until next time, stay safe, keep brushing your teeth, and I'll see you in the next video.